read some of it to you. I also have been trying all night to upload it to the portal and haven't been able to. But I will make it available afterwards so that you can see it. Again, get comfortable. Let me just share this with you and give you a time to take it all in, okay? All right. This speech was delivered by Willie Lynch on the bank of the James River in the colony of Virginia in 1712. Lynch was a British slave owner in the West Indies. He was invited to the colony of Virginia in 1712 to teach his methods to slave owners there. The term lynching is derived from his name. I have never read this in 15 years and I cried. So, gentlemen, I greet you here on the bank of the James River in the year of our Lord, 1712. First, I shall thank you, the gentlemen of the colony of Virginia, for bringing me here. I'm here to help you solve some of your problems with slaves. Your invitation reached me on the modest plantation in the West Indies, where I have experimented with some of the newest and still the oldest methods for control of slaves. As our boat sailed south of the James River, named after our illustrious king, whose version of the Bible we cherish, I saw enough to know that your problem is not unique. While Rome used cords of wood and crosses for standing human bodies along its highways in great numbers, you are here using the tree and the rope on occasions. I caught the width of a dead slave hanging from a tree a couple miles back. You are not only losing valuable stock by hangings, you are having uprisings. Slaves are running away. Your crops are sometimes left in the fields for too long for maximum profit. You suffer occasional fires, and your animals are killed. Gentlemen, you know what your problems are. I do not need to elaborate. I'm not here to enumerate your problems. I'm here to introduce you to a method of solving them. In my bag, I have a foolproof method for controlling your black slaves. I guarantee every one of you that if installed correctly, it will control the slaves for at least 300 years. My method is simple. Any member of your family or your overseer can use it. I've outlined a number of differences among the slaves and make the differences bigger. I use fear, distrust, and envy for control. These methods have worked on our modest plantation in the West Indies, and it'll work throughout the South. Take this simple list of differences and think about them. On the top of my list is age, but it's there only because it starts with an A. The second is color or shade, but there's intelligence, size, sex, the size of plantations, status on plantations, attitudes of owners, whether the slaves live in a valley, hill, east, west, north, have fine hair, coarse hair, or are tall or short. Now that you have a list of those differences, I shall give you an outline of action. But before that, I shall assure you that distrust is stronger than trust, and envy stronger than adulation, respect, or admiration. The black slaves, after receiving this indoctrination, shall carry on and will become self-refueling and self-generating for hundreds of years, maybe thousands. Don't forget, you must pitch the old black males versus the young black males. You must use the dark-skinned slaves versus the light-skinned slaves. You must use the female versus the male. You must also have your white servants and overseers distrust all blacks. It is necessary that your slaves trust and depend on us. They must love, respect, and trust only us. Gentlemen, these kids are your keys to control. Use them. Have your wives and children use them. Never miss an opportunity. If used intensely just for 1 year, the slaves themselves will remain perpetually distrustful of each other. Now let's make a slave. Let us make a slave. What do we need? First of all, we need a black nigger male, a pregnant nigger woman, and her baby nigger boy. Second, we will use the same basic principles that we use in breaking a horse, combined with some more sustaining factors. What we do with horses is that we break them from one another. We break them from one form of life to another That is, we reduce them from their natural state in nature. Whereas nature provides them with natural capacity to take care of their offspring, we break that natural string of independence from them and thereby create dependency to status so that they may be able to get from them useful production for our business and our pleasure. Cardinal principles of making a Negro. For fear that our future generations may not understand the principles of breaking both the beast together, the nigger and the horse, we understand that short-range planning economics result in periodic economic chaos, so that to avoid turmoil in the economy, it requires us to have breadth and depth in long-range comprehensive planning, articulating both skilled, sharp perceptions. We lay down the following principles. All principles must be employed for orderly good of the nation. Accordingly, both a wild horse and a wild or natured nigger is dangerous, even if captured. For they will have the tendency to seek their customary freedom, and in doing so, might kill you in your sleep. You cannot rest. They sleep while you are awake and are awake while you sleep. They are dangerous near the family house, and it requires too much labor to watch them away from the house. Above all, you cannot get them to work in this natural state. Hence, both the horse and the nigger must be broken. That is, breaking them from one form of mental life to another. Keep the body, take the mind. In other words, break the will to resist. Now, the breaking process is the same for both horse and nigger, only slightly varying in degrees. But as we said before, there's an art in long-range planning. You must keep your eye and thoughts on the female and the offspring of the horse. Pay little attention to the generation of original breaking, but concentrate on future generations. Therefore, if you break the black female mother, she will break the offspring in its early years of development, every generation. And when the offspring is old enough to work, she will deliver them up to you. For her normal female protective tendencies will have been lost in the original breaking process. Completely break the breaking process of the African woman. Take the female and run a series of tests on her to see if she'll submit to your desires willingly. Test her in every way because she is the most important factor. If she shows any sign of resistance and submitting completely to your will, do not hesitate to use the bullwhip on her to extract that last bit of resistance out of her. Take not to kill her, for doing so, you'll spoil good economy. When in complete submission, she will train her sons and daughters in their early years to submit to labor when they become of age. Understanding is the best thing. Therefore, we shall go deeper into this area and subject matter. We have reversed the relationship. We have reversed the relationship in her natural, uncivilized state. She would have a strong dependency on the uncivilized nigger male, and she would have a limited protective tendency towards her dependent male offspring, and would raise male offspring to be dependent like her. Nature had provided for this type of balance, but we reversed it. We reversed nature by burning and pulling an uncivilized nigger male apart and bullwhipping the other part to the point of death, all in her presence while holding her child. By her being left alone, unprotected, with the male image destroyed, the ordeal caused her to move from one psychological state to an independent frozen state. And in this frozen state of independence, she will raise her male and female offspring in reversed roles. This art